Good day, race fans. We are here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway for the second race of the 2017 Reddit Truck Series season from the Zeroed Racing League. Here we are for the Great Clips 200 in the GMS Productions studio. I am your host, John Racer, and in the booth with me once again is Marty McGee. Hello, Marty.
Hello, and we are about to get these trucks rolling off from the grid. And
here is your starting lineup.
So on row number 1, we have the number 66 machine of Alexander Rowe alongside Garrett Sidnor in the 16.
Starting in row 2 in third place is the 98 of Tristan Allen, and along him the 99 from Ben Peoples Motorsports of Jonathan Hoff.
And on row number 3, we have that famed 05 machine of John Arndt alongside Benny Watson on his outside.
And in row 4, we see the 17 of Eric Heiden, and along him is the 54 of Bill Goldberg.
And on row number 5, you have the Brad Keselowski Racing trucks of the 29 of John Gilbert, and to his outside is the 19 of Nick Smith.
We are set here for a great race today. There's the 28 full-time trucks, well actually 31, plus the other 5 part-time trucks who are in the field, including Ricky Scott Rouse in the L81 Chevy and Johnny Gardner in the 48 Ford Chevy.
Yes, indeed, and that pace truck is dropping to pit road, and we're about to see that ethanol green flag here at Atlanta. And here they go. And coming out of turn 4 to lead the first lap of the race is Tristan Allen. And it looks like he'll do that and get that very important bonus point
for being the leader the first lap. What we're going to expect for the first few laps is that the trucks are going to cycle through a bit before starting to spread out a bit. And then if we get a couple cautions, they'll pit from our testing, and then or they'll just have one pit stop at around lap 19, and it'll just be whoever is in the lead there will probably have the best chance. But we have some great racing here today.
Yeah, absolutely. And as John Arndt is taking away the race lead, we have some 3 wide battles here. Isaac Nichols went to the inside of Benny Watson, and now his teammate of Garrett Sidnor is up on that high line, and Nichols is kind of on a line on his own down the straightaways.
He's going to try to make it past last week's winner of Nathan Stapleton, but he's not going to be able to make it done, as the 17 of Eric Heiden is starting to take the lead coming off of turn 4.
Yes, he will, and he led that lap at the line, but John Gilbert for Brad Keselowski Racing is having a great run here at the start. Cat Tellier to the inside of the 29, down the back straightaway and into turn 3. And as we said before, that 37 truck won Daytona, and he is about to catapult into the race lead coming out of turn 4.
That will give him a little bit of a points advantage over second place of Ryan Casey. We haven't seen exactly much of Casey today yet.
Yeah, Casey, I believe, started towards mid-pack, and there you see that 74 truck on the outside behind a driver making his first start.
The 76 of Kenneth Medeo.
Yeah, and that one of the names that might give me some hard time pronouncing, but that is one of our part-time drivers to the inside of Johnny Gardner, I believe.
Yep, the 48 is driven by Johnny Gardner this week.
And going back up to the front of the field, Isaac Nichols looks like he has it over Benny Watson at the moment. And indeed he does.
Isaac Nichols hopes to take home the most laps led, while he is hanging out in 30th in points. When we go to Bowman Gray Stadium, you want to be at around 24th to be locked in safely, because only 28 trucks can make the race there.
Yeah, and guys like Isaac Nichols and Alexander Rowe and
Nick Smith,
those drivers finished very deep in the field, got caught up in those first crashes of the day at Daytona, looking to get some speed and some points at the line here in this series, as Benny Watson takes the lap and the lead.
Benny Watson is also in one of those iffy positions, and there is his teammate Jesse Turner right there, right behind the 13 of Adam Lewis, who showed up quite well in one of the fun races that we had here at the infield oval here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Yeah, and you see the Red Bull Racing truck showing speed early, and here comes that 05 machine. He started 5th, and he's made his way back up into the top 5, going to the inside of Adam Lewis for the 3rd position.
Meanwhile, coming up through the field is the 81 of Dion Scott, who finished 3rd at Daytona, and on to his outside is the 11 of Eric Powers, who also had a good showing during the fun races. Eric Powers is currently 4th in point standings, and right there, almost in that group, is the 24 of Jake Basinger, who is currently 3rd in the point standings.
Yeah, there's Basinger here. He's actually at the back of the field. I think the drivers are having switch situations from last week. Some drivers that did not do well from last week are trying to show their speed up here this week, except for Nathan Stapleton. He's been on a roll here, and he's up to 4th.
Trying to make a pass on John Arndt, but John closed the door to follow along with Jesse Turner and Benny Watson, who have pulled out to a 4-car group, pulling car lengths ahead of the rest of the pack.
Yes, they are, and they're trying to put as much distance as they can, because there is pit stops in this race, and the farther you're out, the possibility you could be farther up in the lineup coming out of pit road, and there goes Arndt to the inside, trying to split those Red Bull Racing trucks.
It looks like he might actually do that as he gets underneath Jesse Turner, but Jesse may be able to get enough of an outside line run with the help of Nathan Stapleton.
But Stapleton loves that inside line. That's how he got to the front of this field, and he's going to go to the inside of Turner, and he might get a run here on the 05 out of turn 2. Yeah, he's going to stick right behind the 05 for now.
The 05 seems to also be on the march up to the front, while the rest of the pack is starting to show up as well.
Yeah, and Arndt, being one of those very experienced drivers, he has won here on GMS Productions before, but it's been a while, and he's trying to look to the inside of Benny Watson for the lead, as Watson's led the last couple of laps here.
He may take the most laps led in this race and propel himself into the top 25 of the standings to lock himself into Bowman Gray.
Yeah, absolutely, and there's drivers here. The Red Bull Racing trucks got involved in that huge crash at Daytona. They're running 1st and 4th right now, but the main pack is catching back up to these front 4.
Led by the 19 of Nick Smith, and there comes Zachary Fitzwater Sr. right in tow.
Yeah, and he had a good showing at Daytona as well. Not so much for Nick Smith as he goes to the inside for Turner, and we have a lead change going on.
Atlanta Motor Speedway is known as John Arndt's best track with 7 combined victories total here at Atlanta. John is hoping to make that win amount even bigger now.
Yeah, and hopefully that he can get to the lead, but Benny Watson's going to make him run for his money. He's holding up on the outside. Neither of them have drafting help at the moment, so they'll stay dead even through turns 1 and 2.
We can expect pit stops to start here in about 5 laps. This is going to be an exciting twist to see how strategy will pay out here.
Yeah, and they're more distance out at the front of this field, so if you're up front here when pit stops happen, you're in good shape. If you're at the back, you might be in trouble here for the late stages of this race.
We can possibly expect a little bit of a short pitting situation, but I don't know if that will happen or not.
Yeah, if they want a short pit, they might want to get on here on pit road at lap 17 or 18 here in a couple laps, and maybe they'll make it to the end and get a little bit of fresher tires for a bit longer.
John Arndt made it to the front, but the 19 of Nick Smith pushed his way past the 05 to take over the lead with the help of the 07 of Christian Master and the 60 of Joshua Hyatt.
Yeah, and that 05 actually got a huge run off the corner, and he went up to the third lane on the racetrack, and Nick Smith is kind of stuck in the middle.
Threading the needle there.
And Nick Smith falls back, and John Arndt made that outside work beautifully through turns 1 and 2. He's going to hold to the outside of Christian Master down the back straightaway.
That 05 has some great Chevy power underneath it. While the pack is really reforming.
Oh, we got a wreck! Our Daytona 500 champion involved.
And that's going to put him very far down into the point standings.
Eli Bright involved. And there's where Stapleton gets his hit. Kenneth Mandau was involved. William Johnston spun through the infield. Or the infield grass there.
As Christian Master was able to take the lead from the 05, followed by the 60 of Joshua Hyatt, the 19 of Nick Smith, and the 80 of Jesse Turner.
Yeah, and a wreck comes out here right as soon as pit stops were about to happen. And I think they were about to bunch up. The way they bunched up there, I think they were trying to get to pit road, or some people were.
And this is pit stop window right here. I think this will put them perfectly at the end of the race, because halfway would have been, and the 05 leads them down pit road, even though possibly the 07 should have been the leader.
Yeah,
but halfway was just 2 laps to go, so they should be good to the end.
Yeah, and the race officials are looking over who let it back to the caution and if they should throw a penalty on that or not. But they're going to leave it be for now and let these pit stops go through as the 07 gets a solid stop on and off.
But I think the 05 is going to beat the 07 off the pit road.
And yes, he will.
Did Jonathan Hoff stay out on the racetrack?
Jonathan Hoff I think he was involved somewhat in that crash. So that's why he's on the racetrack. So John Arndt, we're going to go take a look at this crash once again, coming off of turn 4 as pit stops were about to happen. John Arndt looks to be your race leader with the 07 in tow in second place.
Now we must figure out what happened to cause this caution. You can't exactly figure out what happened. Did the 80 of Jesse Turner want to go down pit road? Did the 76 or did the 33 of Andrew Johnson want to go down? But we can't be sure. But they were going 5 wide going out of turn 4.
Yeah, and this results in a heavy crash for Kenneth Mandau in his first ever race. You have Stapleton, the 500, or not the 500, the 250 winner, my bad. He won that race, but he gets involved heavily in this crash.
Benny Watson trying to be as safe as possible. Going into Bowman Gray, didn't get a good wreck. Ooh, Eli Bright went into the wall. Zachary Fitzwater did. A huge crash on the front stretch. We also have to wonder, how did William Johnson go down to...
He got into the 000 came off the wall, and that's where he got through the grass.
24 is trying to make his way through. Very crazy wreck here, a little bit past halfway.
Yeah, and that is all there is to it for that crash. Pit stops were coming up, and that's what congested the field. And we're going to go back green here, and I think John Arndt might be your race leader.
Welcome back to Atlanta, and there's a little bit of a change than what we were expecting. The 99 of Jonathan Hoff went down pit road right before the caution, got his service, and he is now the leader. So John Arndt, Christian Master, Nick Smith, and Joshua Hyatt are your top 5. And as you can see, the 00 of Eli Bright is down on the inside, and that may cause a problem for the field when they catch up to Eli sometime later in the race.
Yeah, and we're about to see that green flag for the second time here tonight, and we're about to see how everything shapes out. Green flag is back out in the air, and the 99 got a huge jump there on the start.
What the teams are going to have to worry about is how they're going to deal with the 00 of Eli Bright. The 99 and 05 were able to masterfully get out in front, and so did the 00, the 19, and the 60. Well, everyone else gets split up just a tiny hair bit.
Yeah, and a lot of drivers are getting stuck behind this 00, though, and that's going to cause some mayhem. And we'll follow through with the leaders as the laps are winding down, and this is your race leader at the moment.
With 11 laps to go.
Yeah, Jonathan Hoff holds the race lead. There's a possibility that Ben Kickles could go back-to-back here in this series. No one's ever done that because there's only been one winner ever in this series, and that was Nathan Stapleton. Christian Master holds that second position. Nick Smith in third. Joshua Hyatt for GMS Racing running in fourth. John Art slipped back to fifth on that restart, but he's still up here in this front pack.
And here we are with 10 laps to go.
Jesse Turner staying in line in sixth place, and Alexander Rowe in seventh. Then you have to go about a whole another second and a half back to get to Dejan Weeks in eighth.
And Eric Hayden and Johnny Gardner have shown up as well.
Yeah, they're running up inside the top 10. And where is the 00 at the moment? He's fallen all the way to the back of this pack. And Ryan Casey must have gotten damage under that recent crash, because he's running at the back of the field.
That is not going to help the second place driver in the points.
Yeah, and there's a possibility that Stapleton is terribly slow. His teammate of Jonathan Hoff is going to catch him here shortly.
The 99 is 26 in points, too.
Yeah, he needs a win, but his teammate might hold him up for it. Here they come.
Brandling with a head of steam. I think the 05 is trying to make a move on the 60th.
Oh! The 19 in the wall, trying to get by the 37. I know! Big
there
crash.
goes 88 into 81. Garrett Senor is also involved.
Dion Scott, Eric Monaco, Eli Bright splits the gap. And that was all because of lap traffic. And that
now we just have to hope that we can come back to the green.
Absolutely, and there will be an interesting finish for this one. Heavy hits for a bunch of drivers. William Johnston was involved. Garrett Sidnor got some damage in that one. So did Keith Batson. And yeah,
I think 8 truck got some damage. I think this may leave Eric Powers as the points leader.
And it looks like John Art's coming to the pit lane. He must have got something from that. He's coming in all by himself, but here comes the 48, another teammate. Oh, Kat Tellier's got a bunch of damage. She's coming down the pit lane as well with Benny Watson, the 55 of Luke Rainey, and Michael Anderson. So we're going to go replay this crash and see how everything unfolded, as a huge wreck here at the end of the stages of this race might bring out a couple lap shootout, and we'll see what happened.
And we're back here to figure out what happened to cause this crash. The 37 is about to come up on the 19 of Nick Smith. Nick Smith goes wide and runs into the back of the 37. And as you can see, the 05 didn't go into the 19. So we have no idea why he went down pit road. But yeah. Nick Smith slides on the top side of the track. And what comes up must come down. 37 rides the wall, but he comes down. A lot of people miss him, but the 88 does not. The 81 goes into him. That is the end of the day for a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of good trucks involved in this one. San Medeo, Sidnor, and look at this one truck as he comes up on the 81. And William Johnston took a hard hit as well. So a big violent crash here at end stages of this race. We'll see how many laps we have to run out for the remainder of this one here in the Great Clips 200. We'll see you for the finish.
We are back, and we are going to go green with just a couple laps to go in this race. So we got a shootout on our hands as Jonathan Hoff holds lead, Christian Master is in second, and Joshua Hyatt is in third. Jesse Turner is in fourth, and the 66 of Alexander Rowe is going to be in fifth, rather.
And that pace truck's going to hit the pit lane. 3-lap shootout here. We're going to see who wins this one. Can anyone get around that 99 machine? He's been fast late stages of this one. And the green flag is in the air. Jesse Turner making moves to the inside. He picks up third place on the 60 machine. And he looks like he's got a run. Might go get the 07 down the back straightaway.
But perhaps they should work together to get past the 99 of Jonathan Hoff. And here comes the 21 of Dejan Weeks, too.
With 2 laps to go in the air, a 2-truck breakaway from the rest of the field. It's Christian Master. He goes to the inside of Hoff for the race lead. Will he make it stick? No, he won't. Hoff gets the run on the outside.
He's going to boil down to a wild 2-car finish to win.
Yeah, he's going to need a lot of help to get around Hoff here at the finish of this one. White flag is waving in the air for Jonathan Hoff. Can anyone catch him? It's really up to the 07 right now to do that.
Because it looks like he's not going to get any help at all.
Yeah, he needs a big, big run to be able to get this one. It looks like Hoff has it at the moment. Christian Master needs a heck of a run through 3 and 4 to get to him.
But it looks like it's too late now.
And coming out of turn number 4, Jonathan Hoff will pick up his first career win in the Reddit Truck Series, second in a row for Bank Eagles Motorsports. And Christian Master gets second place. Nichols gets third there late in the going.
Dejan Weeks falls down to fourth, and Philip Goldberg jumps up to fifth.
Yeah, and he might be possibly our new points leader after this one. He finished 6th down in Daytona. And that is the remainder of the top 10 right here that we're rolling through. And congratulations to the 99 as he pulls off the victory. And here is the top 28. We'll scroll down as we'll go through your finishing results. Jesse Turner finished 7th. Eric Hayden finished 8th. Adam Lewis and Joshua Hyatt rounded out your top 10.
The points will be shown at the end of this video.
Yes, indeed. And Jake Baskinger finishes 11th. He finished strong at Daytona. He gets a decent finish here at Atlanta. Eric Powers, Scott Roush, Kenneth Mandau, who got involved in that first crash, finished 14th. And 15th was Don Smallwood.
Tristan Allen, 16th. John Arndt fell all the way down to 17th because he pitted. Right behind him is his teammate Johnny Gardner, John Gilbert, and Keith Batson.
Ryan Casey, Zachary Fitzwater Sr., Mitchell Carter, Michael Anderson, and Eli Bright round out your top 25. And
there's the rest of the results.
Yeah, and there are the retirees from out of this race. 27th on down had issues, mainly from that big crash that resulted there on the last caution.
An exciting race here in Atlanta. And we'll come back next week for a very exciting race at Rockingham.
Yeah, Rockingham looks like to be some of the truck's favorite. Or a lot of truck drivers love that track, and they're really ready to get to it, as we've had a lot of races with the fun races and the points races. And there will be more to come.
I'm John Racer.
And I am Marty McGee.
And Ford. And from the GMS Production Studio, goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Time, no. waste my time.